The doorbell rang at 7:12 p.m. on a quiet Tuesday evening. I was lying on the couch in my in-laws' living room, barely able to move, when I heard my mother-in-law's sharp voice cut through the air. "Don't you dare open that door." "She's faking it again." My name is Captain Amelia Reyes. I had served 12 years in the United States Army. I had led troops in 2 combat deployments. But that night, I couldn't even sit up without pain shooting through my spine. 3 weeks earlier, I had suffered a severe spinal injury during a training exercise. The doctors ordered immediate medical leave and surgery. My husband was deployed overseas, so I had no choice but to turn to my in-laws for help while I recovered. What I didn't expect was that the people I thought were family would turn their backs on me in my darkest hour. Asterisk, it started with small things not first. They refused to drive me to my medical appointments. Then they stopped cooking meals for me. Soon, they began making comments in front of relatives. She just wants attention, or if she was really hurt, the army would have sent her to a hospital. The worst moment came when my doctor submitted the official medical leave paperwork. My father-in-law looked at the documents, threw them on the table, and said coldly, "We're not signing anything. You're not sick. You're just trying to get out of your responsibilities." I sat there, stunned, tears burning in my eyes. This was the same family that had smiled at our wedding, that had called me daughter, that had proudly told everyone their son married a soldier. Now, they were treating me like a burden, like a liar. Every night I lay awake in pain, wondering how people who claimed to love me could be so cruel. I felt completely alone, broken, and betrayed. The man I loved was thousands of miles away fighting for our country, and the family I was supposed to lean on was making my injury feel like a crime, but something inside me refused to stay silent forever. I started making quiet calls to my chain of command. I documented everything. I gathered every medical report, every denied request, every hurtful word. I didn't know it then, but those calls would change everything. Asterisk on the evening of the garden party my in-laws had been planning for months. Everything came to a head. They were laughing with their friends in the backyard when the doorbell rang again. This time, my mother-in-law opened it herself. Standing on the porch were 2 officers in full dress uniform, accompanied by a colonel from the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The colonel looked straight at my father-in-law and said in a calm but commanding voice, "We're here regarding Captain Amelia Reyes. We understand you have denied her authorized medical leave and are preventing her from receiving necessary treatment. That ends tonight." The entire party went dead silent. My mother-in-law's face turned ghostly white. My father-in-law tried to speak, but no words came out. The colonel continued, "Captain Reyes has served this country with honor. Her injury is legitimate. Your actions have been reported at the highest level. We will be taking her with us now, and you will be receiving a formal inquiry." They helped me to my feet, gently, respectfully, like the soldier I still was. As I walked out of that house supported by those officers, I looked back at my in-laws one last time. The same people who had humiliated me now stood frozen in front of their guests, completely exposed. I didn't feel anger anymore. I felt peace. Too. Weeks later, I had my surgery. My husband flew home on emergency leave, and my in-laws, they never spoke of that night again. That experience taught me a powerful truth. Family is not just the people who share your last name. It's the ones who stand by you. When the world tries to break you, sometimes the deepest betrayal comes from those closest to you. But real justice doesn't always arrive with shouting or revenge. Sometimes it arrives quietly in uniform at your front door. And when it does, it doesn't need to raise its voice because the truth has always spoken louder than any lie ever could.